Alright everybody, welcome back to the channel. My name is Nice Irons. Thanks for hanging out here with me today. Let's get this video started. So today I kind of just wanted to spend some time talking about double primary augments. Totally not because I didn't have any other video ideas, but because I think it was the other day a viewer asked me a question about double primary augments I didn't know the answer to. Specifically, can you like double stack on Rift, basically? You know, like, can you have this and like also a Rift? And I didn't know, so I tested it, and it turns out you can. And as I was at that time, I finally started like actually digging through my double primary augments, started looking through them, and I realized they kind of suck. They kind of suck, right? And you know, the main reason they kind of suck is you can't have adjacent augment primary effects on these. And many of the best augments in the game rely on adjacent augments, and they just simply don't roll on these double primaries. And since all the double primaries are legendary 30 cost augments, that kind of leaves you in a position where you basically need a legendary effect on it and something else good, right? And you need good substats, because substats are incredibly important, especially in element builds, which are kind of the meta right now, right? You know, losing out an element. So for example, I put this on my Mesa build, and all I lost 20% element duration, and that translated in like doing from 270k consumes to 250k consumes on a single northern tech, right? So a pretty significant damage loss. And all I got out of it was a little bit of extra raw damage by having another rift, right? And it just sucked because, well, I would have to have like this and element power and duration for me to ever consider using this. Not to mention, you know, these are currently still bugged, and as I'm recording this video, and you can't max them out, so you know that kind of sucks. But you know, that'll get fixed. But I feel like they really kind of missed the mark with these. There's like, okay, to be fair, there's a couple I can think of right away that I would definitely use. Like, for example, surety and loyalty on the same red augment. Like, obviously that would be really, really good. If you don't know, surety is the northern technique. So there's weak points and you get some extra weak point damage. And loyalty is the arcane fury charge when you hit a weak point. Really nice combination, right? If you can get it to drop, right? So like, yeah, there are definitely a couple like standout examples of like really, really, really good double primaries, but there are so few, man. And there are so few. I just find there are so few situations where I would actually consider using one of these. That they're just kind of there. And like, you know, the only example I can think of a time when I would use a double primary spirit one is if I had, for example, something like this, but with good substats, right? Something where I already want to use implaceable, and you know, getting like some extra arcane fury duration would be nice. But because the secondaries are trash, I'm never going to use this, right? And I do feel like it's a bit of a disappointment, because I kind of feel like they added these into the game and I will literally never use them. And I feel like there are a couple ways they could have implemented this a lot better, right? Now personally, when I first saw this, I never really thought that they were all going to be legendary. They were all going to be 30 drain augments, because you can get 2 5-cost effects, right? And it still costs 30 augments. Like, that might be I think that's a 15 cost, but let's say these are 2 5-cost augments, right? So, you know, for what would normally be 10 total drain, you're spending 30 drain, right? And you're losing a secondary stat at that. It's not good. It's not good. I think a much better way to have implemented double primary augments would be to have rare, purple, and legendary versions, with, you know, the rare ones only having rare and below, purple ones only having epic and below effects, and legendaries having any effect, right? And then that would have been a much better way to do it, because then you'd still have your 30 drain, you know, it's kind of sort of like your ultra like chase augments, like the surety loyalty role I mentioned before. But then you've got 15 costumes where it's like, you know, you can get like something like this, but it only costs 15, right? And it's like, wow, if this costs 15, all of a sudden this is really, really, really good, because it's like, you know, it's a nice bit of opportunity. Or saved you augment ring, right? But that's just not the case. I feel like if they had done like that, I feel like everybody would be using double primary augments. As it currently is, I imagine a lot of people are just not going to bother. I mean, I'm personally not really planning to bother either, because I don't know, man, it's just not worth it. I'm more like I've leveled up a couple of these, right? Planning to use them, and eventually I just realized there's like what I have to trade off to actually use these is never worth it. I haven't had a single situation where a trade-off for Cosmera's augment was actually worth it, right? And that's pretty disappointing. That's pretty disappointing considering like how good double and triple primary weapons are, and you know, charms and amulets. I was kind of expecting, you know, to come in with the double primary augments and expect a sort of similar level of power from them, and they're just kind of bad. Like I said, there are a few standouts, and for the most part, they just suck. They just suck, and it is pretty disappointing. I was really hoping to see the double primaries really shake up how we design our builds, and well, they didn't. Like I said, I'm just disappointed. I really hope we get some sort of tweaking to this. Please let us get adjacent augment effects on these. It makes no sense that we can't, in my opinion. I mean, I get that it would be really strong, but well, why? Why do these even exist? There are so few situations where these are ever going to be worth running. Like really, like you know, the majority of people's builds include Void Shell. You know, they're running Void Shell, they're running Twilight Bloom, they're running Glamour. This 60 powered cost already. If you want to run a Cosmera Strength on top of that, and all of those are, you know, things you can't get, or Cosmera's augment on top of those three, and all three of those are augments you can't get on a Cosmera's augment, right? All of a sudden you're at 90 drain already. You've got 2 free slots left. You've got 2 rare augments, right, left. And it's like, dude, it's just not worth it. It's just not worth it. And I feel like having double primary rares that had no secondaries, double primary epics with 1 secondary, and then the legendary double primaries would have been really nice, and would have actually opened a lot of build potential. So then, you know, really sort of take things to the next level. Really give you a lot of control over what you want in your build and what you want to put in your build and how you make your build. I mean, even then it's still a trade-off, right? Because, you know, for example, the double primary rares, you know, you might be initially thinking, wow, that's kind of crazy, it's overpowered, but you don't get a secondary stat. All you would get is your mastery, right? And well, it's not so good when you think about it like that, because that's for example on a Might Augment, that's probably 40% weapon tech damage you don't get, or 40% element power and 40% element duration, something like that, right? And like I mentioned before, a single line of element duration or power is incredibly valuable on an element build, which are the meta at the moment. Missing out a single line is generally just too much of a damage loss to allow, right? You just lose too much damage. It's just not worth it. Yeah, I think that's about all I had to say about these. I kind of wish they were better. I hope we see some tweaks to them, or if they become something that becomes like a more key part of our build sometime in the future. But that's gonna be it for this video. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Take it easy. I'll catch you guys in the next one.